Hello everyone, what is up? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be talking about what's happening with XRP in the XRP community. Now in CoinMarketCap, XRP is just below 20 cents. We've seen it about 20 cents, but it went back down. And Bitcoin is above $9,000. But now guys, before we jump into news, I always say I'm not a financial advisor, nor is financial advice, it's just for entertainment value only. XRP store tweet out.
My name is Chris. I'm CEO and co-founder of Bitrue. So Bitrue is a crypto exchange. We launched ourselves last July, and then there's one big move we decide is that when we launch ourselves, we decide to opt in XRP as our base currency. So today, Bitrue is an XRP central exchange. We are not just adopt XRP as base currency. On top of that, actually we also build a lot of financial service product for XRP as well. For example, we are probably the very first exchange offer earning interest while you holding XRP on Bitrue. And then just like a month ago, we also launched crypto-backed loan for XRP. That means today you can not just earn XRP while you hold XRP on Bitrue, but instead you can also pledge XRP as a collateral and then borrow USDT, stablecoin, or Bitcoin for other purpose. So this is very important. So we actually, Bitrue, I would say adopt XRP as base currency is just one single step, but on top of that, we're building something else. There's a financial service for XRP, have more scenario for XRP, and we even run an XRP validator as well. So try to decentralize the whole ecosystem. And then we were even discussing that what could be the future of Xpring, what could be the future of the XRP, and what kind of thing we can work together to make this whole Xpring on-demand liquid become bigger and bigger, make it really full adoption. So Ripple help us to bring us to the community, and then bring the community to Bitrue.
There we go, guys. The adoption. The asset is used by Ripple's payment network to facilitate low-cost same-day cross-border transactions. Bitrue believes XRP's growing utility will bring more users to its exchange. Next it comes from Boy XRP.
So many more channels for money to flow across national borders. Just a few months ago, China in fact shut down Bitcoin exchanges, but also Bitcoin trading because of fears that Bitcoin was providing an avenue for speculative capital outflows from China, which they were trying to control at the time. Finally, when one thinks about an issue that David raised about whether these currencies, the fiat currencies that we now love and live with, could be challenged in any significant way by cryptocurrencies, I think some remarks that Governor Carstens had made, I think are really key, and these come down to the issue of trust. What I think we are likely to see because of the changes in financial technology and the changes in payment mechanisms are what I would think of as a bifurcation of the roles of money. Traditionally, money, as we think about it, has played three key roles as mediums of exchange, units of account, and indeed as stores of value. One can very well see these functions now being much more easily split apart because you don't need the traditional fiat currencies like the US dollar in terms of international trade and finance transactions. Right now, it's very easy to trade in dollar instruments because they're very liquid. The cost of transacting in dollar instruments is very low. But as payment systems become more sophisticated, more decentralized, as costs fall, there is no good reason why oil and other commodity contracts need to be denominated just in dollars. You can think about a multitude of currencies, real, virtual, national, transnational, that could start playing a much bigger role. But I think the question of trust and whether there is going to be a good alternative in terms of safety, I think remains to be seen. So what I think we are going to see is a very significant evolution in international finance with much more efficient payment systems, with much more de facto open capital accounts, and therefore a freer flow of capital across national borders, which is going to bring a lot of benefits, but I think a huge number of attendant risks as well. So what I think we are at the threshold.
More efficient payments. Next it comes from XRP Yo-Yo.
Look, in the perfect world, we announce all these facilities, the markets work, and we don't need to use them. But they're there, and they're going to be ready, and they're going to serve as backstops. So we make sure that American business and American workers have access to liquidity.
Mr. Secretary, I keep hearing one word, and it's a word that people tell me you will not use, and it has to do with PPP. 75% goes to workers, but people want flexibility. They want not to give it. They want to give it to the workers, but kind of you go from law firm to law firm to law firm, business person, business person, business person. They don't know what to do. They need guidance, and they all want the program to succeed, but they don't know how to execute on it.
Jim, I disagree with you completely. They do know how to execute on it, and it's working great. 99% of the loans were $2 million and less to very small businesses. As you know, there's a small number of loans around public companies and things like that. But this program is working great. It's getting money to the workers. And on the 75%, let me just comment. The way Congress designed this, 8 weeks of payroll plus 25% of overhead. If Congress wants to change that rule, I'm happy to work with Congress if there's bipartisan support to do that. But the 75% test was just a clarity on a test that was clear in the way that Congress designed this program. But again, like anything else, if we need to make technical fixes as we see different issues, I think one of the things we're particularly sympathetic to are the restaurants.
Yes.
Many of the restaurants are just beginning to open up and have said that, they'd really like to hold the money. They can't do that. That's not something we can do, but we'll look at a technical fix. So we're working very clearly. But this program, let me tell you, this is going to help about 60 million Americans get back to work.
Mr. Secretary, I could not agree with you more. I think it's an unbelievable program. We just want there's certain industries that are more difficult, and if they give us flexibility from Congress, it will really be a home run. Secretary Mnuchin, thank you so much.
More liquidity needed. Be ready, XRP community. It is coming. XRP the standard. Now guys, we're to the fun part of XRP and the XRP community. Now this is very interesting. Now today's part is very interesting, guys. Morningstar tweeted out, the future is bright. May you all enjoy the fruits of your investment soon. We can see here soon. This year, guys. This year. Blue Eyes tweeted out, what will start later today will end on Thursday later. What will start early Friday will not end soon. But on the one hand, you will certainly like it. Look at this picture. We can see here the storm. So guys, looks like it's coming. Fifi tweeted out this picture right here and this right here. What do you guys think this means, guys? It comes from Cryptomaniac. Keep in mind that while the Ripple whale suppression team is working hard to keep XRP price low right now, one day a switch will be flipped, and that same team will be responsible for keeping the price at $100 or $500. Patience. If we go into replies, we can see switch will be flipped. We have already heard from a former Ripple employee that this will not be the case. Steady growth going up, steady, steady, steady. When we get there in the future, if everything plans out. Ripple whale suppression does not exist. So what do you guys think about it? Does it exist or not, guys? Next it comes from Reborn. What if? Huh? From XRP the world, I say nothing but what if. We can see here from unknown name. Yes, what if? What if some geopolitical events trigger collapse of the system late July? Well, I'm not expecting anything. What if they introduce the new financial system afterwards, late August? Well, I'm not expecting anything. Just what if? Plans within plans. 2020, guys. So guys, 2020, it does seem very crazy. Lots of things will be going on. Maybe they introduce a new financial system. Who knows? Shakodago tweeted out, we'll be filthy rich, but at what cost, XRP? Now you guys can see all of these pictures right here. It's very interesting to think about these things, guys. I mean, but at what cost? The final tweet for today's video comes from Mr. Poole. We can see here, and then we can see this picture right here. If we're going down the replies, Jane and Delton, order out of chaos, double meaning. Again, guys. So today's video was quite interesting, guys. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys did, please leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. And you guys, see ya.
This is the beginning of the greatest economic cycle this country has had since World War II. And I knew the things that Donald would do, and he hasn't even got started. But this is the eye of the motherfucking storm, the perfect storm. It ain't never going to get any better. Never. This is perfect for the QLA model. If I could have written a prescription or a formula, I couldn't have written it any better. Low interest rates, money's free, you stupid. Massive chaos. And Donald's going to rip the mother economy apart. And he's going to for practice in a good way. This is it. It ain't never going to get anything better. This is like a multiple orgasm the rest of your life, you fucking slags that are in the audience. This is it.
Sometimes I don't want to hear what Dan has to tell me. But as I wrote in one of my blogs, the old man, he's always right. Because he's telling you what you don't want to hear about yourself, but what you know is true. And that is, you're not stepping yourself up. You're not stepping your game up. And you get caught up in fear. As Dan says, false expectations appear in reality.